Hello, my name is Representative Pam Powers Hannley, and I represent LD9 in Tucson in the Arizona House. Today, I'm going to give you a tiny update about the coming legislative year. This will be the 54th legislature, and it starts on Monday, January 14, which is just coming up in a few days. Well, this year, unlike other recent years, we actually have money to spend. It's not going to be one of these years where we argue about how to cut funds. It's going to be one of these years where we argue about how to spend the funds we have. So just a quick update. So we have $900 million in one-time funds. What does that mean? That means that we collected more personal income tax and more sales tax in the last fiscal year than we expected to. And so how did that happen? How did it happen that people made more money and spent more money? I wonder if that had something to do with raising the minimum wage. Anyway, we have $900 million more in one-time funding. That's the point. So one-time funding means that we could buy something this year and then that's it. Like it's a one-off. Like, for example, how many school buildings need new air conditioners? We could do something like that. So there's a lot of things we could do this one-time funding because we have so many budget cuts that in the past where budgets were cut on certain things but never restored. In addition to that, we have $200 million in a structural balance. That means based on our current budget, we have an extra $200 million that's there or supposed to be there over the next 3 years. So what could we do with this? These are things that, we could put some of this on education, obviously. We could protect kids' care. We could restore cash assistance to the poor. There's any number of things we could do with that $200 million. The other thing that we have as a potential this year is $180 million in tax conformity money. What does that mean? That means that in December 2017, the Trump administration and congressional Republicans passed a new tax plan. And if Arizona makes our tax plan conform to the Trump plan, then Arizona government will increase our revenue by $180 million. This is based on changes that the federal government has made. And I could do an hour-long video on tax conformity, but I say that we conform to that because it will make it so when you fill out your taxes, you can still fill out your federal form and it will flow into your state form. It'll make it easier for you. And for the most part, the people who are going to be paying this extra $180 million are not you and I. These are higher income people in the state of Arizona. So I say, yeah, why not? Let's do the tax conformity. The other sources of income or revenue in this year's budget are the tax giveaways. Remember, we've been talking about this $13 billion plus in tax giveaways that the Arizona government has. I still believe that we should review these. I have a bill that I'm proposing to review the tax giveaways and also look at the corporate tax cuts and see what of those giveaways are actually effective and which ones aren't. Because right now, when the legislature passes a tax giveaway, there's no sunset date on these things. That means that that giveaway goes on forever. So there are many of those giveaways that have been in statute for a very long time, and we should look at what giveaways are actually stimulating the economy and creating jobs and which ones aren't. And we need to trim that $13 billion because we need to pay for the schools, we need money for the universities, we should be fully funding the community colleges, and many, many more things, like the roads, for example. Almost $1 billion was swept from the highway fund over the last few years by the Republicans. So it's time to pay the piper. We have the money this year, and we need to put up what we want to spend it on. And I also think, just to close, that part of that money should go to our rainy day fund. There could be rocky Wall Street waters ahead, and we want to make sure that we don't crash our economy as much as it did the last time Wall Street crashed. So, thank you for listening. It'll be a fun session.